All right. This is a short little blog on I'd say a bit of career advice or career mentoring, if you want to call it that, for young school leavers who actually want to go and study in the field of engineering. And there are different avenues which someone can pursue, and it's very important to find out from an early stage exactly what interests you have, and to pursue those interests, because it doesn't help to spend a lot of time and a lot of wasted energy on a tertiary education which is not going to benefit you in the long run. Okay. Now, the different fields of study, which are mechanical, there's electrical, electronic, civil, structural, specializing in control systems, automation, telecommunications, signal processing, and electromagnetics. I'm not going to go into the details of each of the various fields of engineering. If you'd like to know more, at the end I'll leave an email address, and you can send me a mail, and I'll gladly respond to that. It's also important to decide which industry you want to work in. There's various industries, and depending on which companies you want to work for, they only specialize in specific industries. The large corporations actually specialize across a multitude of industries, which gives a very diverse career opportunity, if you want to call it that, for future graduates. But some of the industries that I've had exposure to is the power systems industry, mining, building services, which deals with commercial and residential properties, the oil and gas environment, water and sanitation, and then industries I haven't worked in before is actually transportation, fast-moving consumer goods, and in the aerospace or military areas. Now, it's one thing to go and study engineering. Engineering is a very tough degree. It teaches you how to think. It teaches you how to process information analytically. It's very intensive on mathematics. It's very intensive on physical science. And if you go to the fundamentals of engineering, it always falls back on the basic principles which you learn in your first 2 years of study. So typically your first 2 years are your base years, and then your third and fourth year, which is your bachelor's and honors years, are the years which you actually specialize further into your qualifications. And it's very important that you lay a solid foundation, and because you'll always find in your career that you need to revert back to the basics. It's something I've taught myself, which if you try and keep all the information in your head, you're never going to get it. So try and remember the rude fundamentals, and you can always derive a solution based on a given set of information. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is companies or large organizations. It's fine to go and say, okay, you want to go and do, say, electrical engineering, but you need to find out, okay, what industry do you want to work in, and go and do research about that industry. What is actually happening? Does it spark your interest? Do you see yourself designing power lines? Do you see yourself designing motor control centers? Do you see yourself, I'm just using electrical engineering as an example, but you've got to ask yourself the question, where do you see yourself? What do you want to be doing? Because it's far easier to go to an employer and say, look, this is the qualification I've done, this is what I want, and this is the experience I want to get out of it. And then because often these organizations may have structured teaching approaches, but they never followed properly, or never implemented properly, or the guys who originally implemented them have left the company, and there's a information gap. So it's very good for you as a employee or potential employee to take the initiative to say, look, this is the skill set that I can bring to your company. This is the industry that you work in, and sell yourself, and then tell them what you expect in return from them, so that they understand from the beginning it's a give and take, and it's not just a situation where you pouring information into the organization and you're not getting any benefit from it. It's very important to establish that professional relationship. Look, maybe starting out it might be seen as a little bit forward is the word, or maybe a little bit too I don't want to use the word or use the analogy of pushy, but as long as your employer understands what your expectations are, because it doesn't help 6 months to a year into the company, and you find yourself not doing what you thought you were going to be doing, and it's important then to realign yourself, and talk to the company and say, look, this is what you're offering me, and I feel I'm not getting this exposure. Could we potentially draw experience from other departments, or could we explore into a new industry or something so that I can gain this type of exposure? Or alternatively, you look for a new organization. I think in today's environment, I think companies would be very silly to let go of employees, because engineering is it's a very special art. Look, it's not easy. You'll find that through your career, there are lots of obstacles which you need to overcome, and it's important to understand that you're going to have challenges and you need to overcome those challenges. Yeah. All right. I think I've spoken enough about the engineering qualifications, the industries, as well as some companies, or the general maybe interview techniques which you could use, or rather an approach. But like I said, just do it in a light manner, so that it doesn't seem too forward or too abrupt in dictating to your potential employer that or you've got to set the boundary limit and define what you want out of it, so that they understand what they need to give you and what you can provide them. Okay, thank you for your time. By the way, my email address is kevin.jacobs1982@gmail.com. If you've got any questions, just email me, and feel free to consult with me at any time. Thank you. Bye-bye.